Welcome to another exciting episode of AU Pop. We're the source for everything in the world of pop culture. I'm Connor Miller.
And I'm Loretta Johnson. In today's episode, we will be covering the upcoming Masquerade Ball. And during our Love It, Hate It debate, we will cover last Sunday's football game between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions.
Let's start off with our Pop Roundup, where we take a look at what's happened or what is coming up in the world of TV, movies, and music.
In television news, the international hit Downton Abbey was renewed for a fifth season in a move that surprised nobody. The fourth season, which ended recently in the UK, will premiere here in the United States on January 4th. Americans can rest easy knowing that it won't be the last season because creator Julian Fellowes has publicly stated that he will not be killing off any characters this season, which is probably a good thing because it was one death away from turning into The Walking Dead. In business news, a deal has been reached between Marvel and Netflix. The partnership has already been contracted for 4 live-action original series to be produced as Marvel seems to be expanding their cinema strategy to television. There is no telling yet what these shows will center around or if they will interconnect in any way, but knowing Marvel, that seems to be a strong possibility.
Speaking of the Marvel franchise, it is making headlines in the movie world as well. Thor: The Dark World thundered into theaters last weekend, claiming the #1 spot at the U.S. box office. The film grossed over $86 million in its opening weekend in domestic theaters. Globally, the film has already earned $327 million and is on track to pass the gross of its predecessor. The first Thor film earned $450 million worldwide in its summer 2011 release. Work on the Terminator reboot is well underway. Actresses are already being seen for the role of young Sarah Connor. One of these actresses is Emilia Clarke, known currently for her role on Game of Thrones. Last week, Dish Network announced that Blockbuster would close its doors for good. The once popular movie retail chain filed for bankruptcy in 2010 after demand switched to a digital market. Blockbuster streaming services will remain in business, but the 300 remaining stores will be closed.
This past week in the music industry has been busy. On Sunday night, popular music television station MTV featured its 19th annual MTV Europe Music Awards. Held in Amsterdam, the night featured some notable winners. Best Song, Locked Out of Heaven by Bruno Mars, Best Female Artist Katy Perry, Best New Artist Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, Best Live Performer Beyoncé, Best Video Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus, and the Global Icon Award Eminem. In other music news, YouTube held its first ever awards ceremony titled the YouTube Music Awards 2013. The primary purpose behind this groundbreaking award show was to highlight the top music videos of artists ranging from worldwide celebrities and musicians to popular YouTube artists who have gained popularity from the submission of music videos. Notable performances included Eminem's Rap God, MIA's Come Walk With Me, Lady Gaga's Dope, and Earl Sweatshirt's Sasquatch featuring Tyler, the Creator. That wraps up this week's Pop Roundup. Now we have a regular feature on AU Pop, the Hate It or Love It debate. Now we'll go over to Connor, who will be moderating this week's Chicago Bears versus Detroit Lions debate.
Thanks, Loretta. I'm here with Andrew and Alex, and we're going to have a little debate about the Chicago Bears and Detroit Lions rivalry. So I hear you are the Detroit Lions fan here.
I am.
How do you think they've been doing this year? How have they been doing?
First place in the NFC North. First time in the 2000s, so we'll take it.
Who's the best player, you think, on the Detroit?
Megatron.
Megatron?
No doubt. Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
And you're the Chicago Bears fan.
Yes, sir.
How have they been doing this year?
Unfortunately, they're in second place.
All right. And so I hear that they played the Detroit Lions and the Chicago Bears last week. How did that go?
We lost again, unfortunately, so we're 0-2 on the season against Detroit.
Do you think they have a chance of making the playoffs?
Absolutely.
What about you? Do you think they'll make the playoffs this year?
The Bears, the Lions.
Both.
I think the Lions have a good shot, considering they have the only healthy quarterback, with Cutler still being kind of iffy, Rodgers for the Packers being out. It looks pretty good for the Lions, plus their schedule is pretty easy, but I think the Bears have a shot. Carolina's looking really good, and you know Seattle or the 49ers are going to take up one of those wild card spots. So the Bears are really, and Packers and Lions, are really all fighting for that last wild card spot between the Panthers and the rest of the NFC North.
What do you think about Cutler's injury this year?
Unfortunately, Cutler has played through pain before, but perception is not always reality, so sometimes trainers feel that he needs to sit out, but he may rush himself back, so his reputation around the league has been tarnished somewhat.
And how's his backup been doing?
Like I said before, his legacy around the league has been tarnished, but Cutler's backup, Josh McCown, him and Josh are buddies, so he played exceptional against the Redskins. But when you step in, a win's a win, a loss a loss. So, like Andrew said, Detroit's on top of the division right now.
So if the Bears made the playoffs and the Lions made the playoffs and they're playing each other, who do you think would win?
I'd have to give the edge to Detroit again. I mean, it's hard to win 3 times in a season, but if that were the case, then Detroit would have home field advantage just because of the way it would have to work out. And a playoff atmosphere in Detroit would be nuts. They would come out ready to play. Obviously, Cutler would be healthy at that time. It'd be a close game. I think it'd be another nail-biter like this week was, but I think Detroit would come up top.
I agree, absolutely. I think it would come down to home field advantage just because of epic defenses in a deep passing game.
So Ndamukong Suh, he's a player on the Lions. He has a lot of controversy surrounding his play on the field. What do you think about that?
I mean, obviously the Thanksgiving stomp, like there's instances that speak for itself, but I don't mind the overall aggressiveness. I mean, my father and I had season tickets since 2005, and we've seen them lose a lot. Like, there is just a losing culture about them. So when Jim Schwartz came in and just kind of made them more aggressive, people around the league started taking that like, oh, they could be a dirty team. But besides the occasional instances by just random players, like insulated incidents, I think their aggressive play has been helpful for Detroit. It's taken away the losing mindset. It's made them hungry, made them want to win, and I love it. I mean, obviously I could do without having to retry a 2-point try and make me really nervous because of a stupid penalty, but I'll take the aggressiveness every day.
Okay. And how do you feel being a Detroit Lions fan in Chicago?
It's just a lot of people I can rub it in their face. I mean, years past they've rubbed it in mine because the Lions kind of stink. They have, but not this year. I mean, Detroit has all those financial issues, but I'm like, how can we be that broke since we own the Bears?
Very true. They have lost twice this year.
You hit the nail right on the head.
Who's your favorite player on the Bears?
Lance Briggs.
Lance Briggs.
When he's playing.
when he is playing, unfortunately,
you guys are missing him without
on the injured reserve list right now.
It's not going to be good too because you got Eddie Lacy for the Packers. You got to play again. You got Adrian Peterson for the Vikings. Run defense has been a little questionable.
Yeah, I mean, 3 of the most epic position players in the league: Calvin Johnson, wide receiver, Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, and Adrian Peterson at running back, all play in the NFC North. So, and then the Bears have their epic defense. So, in my eyes, I mean, the NFC North is the most competitive division in football.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now, Calvin Johnson. What do you think of that? Calvin Johnson and Charles Tillman. He's a corner on the Bears. What do you think of that matchup?
I mean, in my eyes, Charles Tillman, Peanut will go down as the greatest DB ever to play for the Chicago Bears. But just because you're the greatest for the Bears doesn't necessarily mean that you may be the greatest of all time. And Calvin Johnson has a chance to be that. I feel like he could surpass Jerry Rice and Randy Moss.
That's a lot of pressure you're putting on him there.
I think it's possible. I mean, he already broke Jerry Rice's single season record. He had the most receiving yards in regulation. The total was in overtime, so we don't really count that. But yeah, if you look at what Tillman did too, in both games he's played against the Lions, they've had a lot of single coverage on Johnson, which is usually not a very good idea, but Tillman shut him down. I mean, he had that one touchdown pass at the end that Tillman got beat. But that's going to happen every now and then with Calvin Johnson. But I think it was like 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. And then the first time they met, I don't think he got over 100 either. So that's a credit to Tillman just for being able to go one-on-one with him and win.
So the Green Bay Packers.
We hate them.
Both of you, what do you think?
If Rodgers stays down, I'll be happy.
How about that? Do you think that the Packers are going to have a chance to make the playoffs this year?
Like I said before, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best position players, quarterbacks in the league. So, as a Bears fan, I know Andrew as a Lions fan, we were always viewed as the little brothers to the Green Bay Packers. So, we were pulling for Aaron Rodgers to stay down. You never want to see anyone hurt, but at the same time, if Aaron Rodgers is on the field, it's best for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So they may not agree on who they like, but they can both agree that they don't like the Packers. So I think that's it for the debate. Who do you think won this debate, little here?
Regardless of debate, I mean, Andrew's team is atop the NFC North right now. Like I said before, the NFL season is a marathon and not a sprint, so come Week 17, Week 16, things may be different, but as of right now, the Lions own the division, so.
All right.
We'll take whatever we can get.
Take whatever you get. So I got to thank you guys for coming in, and we're going to throw it back over to Loretta, where she'll have our regular segment, the Pop Chat.
Thanks, Connor. I'm here with Marcus Atkins. Marcus is a part of the Fashion Loves You organization, better known as FLY. FLY promotes cultural wellness, believing that every individual has a flair for fashion and a sense of style. Therefore, we encourage and empower others to embrace it. How are you doing today, Marcus?
Pretty good, and yourself?
I'm doing well. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about yourself, a little bit about the organization?
Okay, well, I am president of the organization as well as owner of the organization. Fashion Loves You serves the purpose of promoting cultural wellness and enforcing guiding principles of Aurora University to ensure and enforce that everyone is inspired to express their own fashion and styles and live vogue in style. So that is our purpose and our vision statement for the organization itself. FLY was originated in 2005 by Isaac LaShawn Ricks, who was the founder, and it has been current since then.
Nice. So it's been active on this campus ever since it was originated?
Correct.
Okay. What positions do you hold in other organizations, not just in FLY?
Other organizations, I was previously on Black Student Union as a director of public relations as well as the organization council representative. Other organizations, I'm just regular members, or I am the representative of other organizations, excuse me. So that's just my roles in different aspects of organizations. I love to be involved.
And do you bring any of the things that you have learned in those organizations into the organization of FLY and some of the other members in there?
I definitely do. I love to collaborate. I love to network. I love to share information from our organization to others and then bring theirs back as well. So I love the real connection that we have on the campus, so definitely.
So you would say, as far as the members in the organization, you guys are very close?
Correct.
Do you guys hang out, outside of meetings and things like that, or do you just build the bond based on that organization?
Oh no, we definitely, through these connections, through the organizations, we definitely build a friendship. We build different types of relationships, mentors, mentee relationships. We build great educational and experiential relationships, so I think so.
Okay, so I know that you have talked a little bit about what you guys do to promote that, but what do you guys do within the organization to get people to kind of really be themselves and show themselves through style?
Well, definitely with the organization itself, we definitely plan 2 seminars, a fashion seminar. One was this previous semester, which we're going to have again next semester, and is teaching people different ideas and do's and don'ts about fashion. So what would you wear to an interview? What would you not wear to an interview? What would you wear to a business day? How can you change a work outfit into something you can go out at night in? Definitely transitioning outfits, so that's something we definitely like to teach people and bring their ideas as well to the table. Through that as well, we have another not beauty seminar, but fashion seminar where we teach skin and beauty care. And we work with Mary Kay Ash, consultant of that organization as well. So that's collaboration we definitely have. And we basically teach how to apply makeup, how to take care of the real skin. We have men's products, women's products, and we basically teach you how to, present yourself.
So it seems like you guys have really built a huge target audience. You're able to target a lot of people at AU. What is the kind of feedback that you guys get from these seminars?
From the seminars, as well as the fashion show, actually, I want to get into the fashion show. We definitely have a lot of people show up to the fashion show. It's one of our biggest events of the year. The fashion seminars actually lead up to that because it teaches the do's and don'ts about fashion. And what the fashion show does, it portrays what we teach in the seminars. So a lot of people definitely enjoy coming to the fashion show every spring. And it is a great turnout. Everyone talks about it. We always get different types of clothing and fabrics and all types of personalities. So it's a great result of it. So.
Where do you get the clothes, the models, all of that kind of equipment for the fashion show from?
Well, definitely models are welcome from all different places. We mainly go from AU students to other schools we invite to participate in the fashion show as well. Where we get our clothes from, we get them from professional vendors such as Sears, Akira, Macy's, JCPenney, Windsor's, pretty much any stores you could think of within the Aurora University area, or even Chicagoland area. We get them all types of corporations and malls and stores.
That's awesome. So what was the reasoning for making this event, the Masquerade Ball? What was the reasoning behind that one?
The reason behind that was it originally was supposed to be in October for Halloween. FLY has always had a dance or a party. It's our annual event for the fall semester. thing about the masquerade ball is it was our original dance when it first became an organization, and we want to actually bring that back because we haven't had the masquerade ball in a while. So we definitely want to bring that back to campus because it's fun, it's innovative, and it's a new idea to a lot of students, especially with the new freshmen and transfers. So having masquerade ball is something completely different, and it actually coordinates with the fashion organization because the thing that we want to do is build the confidence, and sometimes the confidence behind the mask. And so a lot of people show off their personality through the decorations of their mask. So that's what we want to try to do, is basically uncover the beauty behind the mask and in front of the mask. So that was one of the concepts of the masquerade ball. And this is actually going to be November 15th, which is tomorrow. 7 to midnight in UVH, so I'm very excited. Everyone must have a mask. You can find masks at Hobby Lobby. You can find them at Michael's or even Party City. Tonight we will also be hosting a mask making event here in Dunham Atrium, 6 to 8 p.m. And so we will actually teach how to make the mask. So
that sounds awesome. So it seems like, you know, everything that you guys do as an organization, you really get AU community involved in it, and that's really awesome. Your target audience is huge. You guys seem like you have a great outcome with it. Anything exciting that we can look for past the masquerade ball, other than the fashion show?
The masquerade ball. Yes. We are having our next event closing out this semester is the informational workshop, where we'll be teaching talking about a little bit about Fly and the fashion show as well, and what you can experience and benefit from the fashion show, what you carry on to it. And it basically gives you that workshop, like it shows you what we actually do, how do we do it, and actually shows you how we build the confidence and how we build relationships within Fly. So it's very family oriented, and we love to share the fashion cheer around.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a great organization. Thank you so much for coming on and, you know, giving us a little bit of insight on that organization.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go, we have our final segment today, the Pop Top 5. This is where we chart the top 5 something as decided by our producers and our writers. This week, we will be taking a look at the top 5 most anticipated films. 2013 may be almost over, but our Oscar season is only just beginning. Since the movies that we have yet to come out this year, we'd figure we'd help you keep track of which ones to look out for.
First up at number 5 is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Ben Stiller directs and stars in this upcoming film about Walter Mitty, a chronic daydreamer who isn't having much luck in his real life. It's highly possible the film might be stretching farther than it can reach, but at least it's trying something big, which is more than we can say for most films. You can go see it on Christmas Day.
At number 4, we have the sequel everybody's waiting for, Anchorman 2. Will Ferrell and the gang are back at it again, and even if it doesn't end up being as funny as the first film, who can resist seeing this news team back together again? Another evening with Steve Carell's eccentric brick should be worth the ticket price alone. It will be released on December 20th, and it can't come fast enough.
At number 3 is Spike Jonze's newest film, Her. The film follows a man named Theodore, played by Joaquin Phoenix, as he falls in love with the computer program. Advanced buzz and the director's track record would indicate that there's almost no way this can't be good. It opens up on December 18th, and you won't want to miss it.
Coming in at number 2 is The Wolf of Wall Street. Martin Scorsese's latest film took cinema fans by a storm after its first trailer was released. It might just be the most fun you'll have at the movies all year long. You can catch it when it opens on Christmas Day.
And lastly, at number 1, we have Inside Llewyn Davis. The Coen brothers' latest film is loosely based on Dave Van Ronk, one of the godfathers of the American folk music revival in the 1960s. The film boasts a stellar cast, and the Coens have shown their affection for the folk music genre in plenty of their past films, so this film was a long time coming. It opens in limited release on December 18th.
That's all the time we have for this episode of AU Pop. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
So, yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't really know.
I like the rock and roll music, and I like to dance the cha-cha-cha. I like the rock and roll music, and I like to dance the cha-cha-cha. I got the mambo fever, and I like to sing a sing-a-ling. I like the rock and